and components. Nobody makes better.
The 22nd before the Christmas break. Then we should be getting some information a little further along and bringing you what's going to be happening as far as the Granite City Classic is concerned, because that'll be coming up between Christmas and New Year's. So we could have as many as 7 games coming up here on 98 Country with ROCORI basketball for you coming your way from here at ROCORI High School as well as other locations around central Minnesota. Well, the two teams are being introduced now, and the Spartans are being introduced at this point. We'll come back with that opening tip-off in 1 minute.
Number 32, Pat Rothstein. Number 40, Dan Moore. Number 42, Doug Sherman. Number 50, Scott Schreiner. And number 54, Tim Neary. The starting lineup for the Willmar Cardinals, at guard, number 11, Ryan Hoppenau. Darren Fox. And number 53, Chad Newman. At center, number 51, Brian Bach. The Cardinals are coached by Mike Hanson.
They will have a guest.
Starting for ROCORI. At the guard spots, number 44, Lyle New. And number 24, Steve Hull.
Running down that starting lineup for ROCORI now once again. They will be starting Lyle New at the point guard spot. The double wings will have Steve Howells, a 6'1 senior, and Bart Johnson, a 6-foot senior. And the double post will be Craig Ethan, 6'4 senior, and Scott Hondo, a 6'4 sophomore. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with pride, our national anthem. Have it on the side. 6:33 on the clock. 3-2 ROCORI on top. Hulls gets the inbounds pass and then bounces it back outside the new. Brings it to the top of the circle. Man-to-man defense for the Willmar Cardinals. Down into the corner to Hondo. Outside jumper is good. A three-pointer. 2 threes in a row for Bart Johnson, who, as Coach mentioned, had played a lot of basketball during the summer. And it's apparently paid off as he did his first 2 shots and gives the Spartans a 4-point lead at 6-2. Shot no good from the baseline by Hanson. The follow-up shot by Brian Bach is no good, and the rebound is pulled out of there by the Spartans. New tells him to rotate the offense and brings it across the timeline. Bounces it down into the corner to Hondo. He's covered, by the way, by Chad Newman. From outside, a three, and it's good. This time it's Steve Howells with the three-pointer, and the Spartans have taken a 9-2 7-point lead in the ball game. 5.5 minutes to play. A steal by the Spartans. Down court. Howells tries to drop it back. Now Ethan gets it out to Howells once again. Turnover 2 for the Cardinals. And New bounces it down to Bart Johnson. Cross-court pass to Howells, back to New. Looking inside, brings it out to Ethan. Ethan holds it over his head on the left side, then brings it back out to New. Hondo in the corner brings it back over to Johnson, and then it's lost in the lane and picked up by the Cardinals. First turnover of the ballgame for ROCORI. Into the front court, down inside. Bach tries to go to the basket, is fouled on the way to the hoop, and the foul will be called on, I believe Ethan picked up the foul. 2 shots will be coming. Craig Ethan's first personal foul of the basketball game, and at the free throw line will be Brian Bach. Say never the same old chicken at the Red River Inn. They have dinners featuring lemon broccoli chicken, chicken Dijon, chicken Italiano, chicken Monterey, and chicken Hawaiian. All include rice, roll, and vegetable. Just $4.99 or $5.99 with salad bar at the Red River Inn in Cold Spring. First free throw is up and good by Bach. They'll have one more coming. Cuts the lead down to 9-3 for the Spartans. Second free throw is also good, so Bach makes them both. He does all 4 points for the Cardinals, and it's a 5-point lead for ROCORI. Spartans into the front court, moving quickly, now bringing it back outside to Howells. Drives it to the hoop, lays it off nicely to Ethan, who puts it in. Spartans looking good here in the early going, and here's almost a steal. Now Johnson knocks it out of bounds, and it'll still belong with the Cardinals, apparently, on the far side of the court. And the Cardinals will trigger the inbounds pass. Darren Bach gets it in to Habana. Off on the right side, the jumper by Nate Hansen is good, and it's a three-pointer. So Nate Hansen, 6-foot senior, has the three, and ROCORI's lead is down to 4 at 11-7 with 4:19 to play in the first quarter. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Cardinals, who are apparently in a zone defense right now, anyway. Inbounds to New. Yes, they come down in a 2-3 zone defense. They came out in a man-to-man, and now they're in a 2-3 zone. Here's New, right side to Howells for three. Yes! Howells and Johnson each have a pair of three-pointers, and the Spartans go back up by 7 once again. That's been their biggest lead of the ball game, and it's been on 3 occasions. Now the shot no good by the Cardinals, and the Spartans come off with the ball, and they'll have it out of bounds under the Willmar basket. Now a little pressure being put on, and so Howells will come down to help out, bringing the ball down, and so Steve Howells will bring it up court, drops it off to New, who'll bring it across the timeline. Spartans up by 7, just under 4 minutes to play first quarter. Left side to Ethan. Ethan with the basketball, cross court to Johnson for 3. Yes! Bart Johnson has 9 points in the ball game, all on three-pointers. And the Spartans have opened up a 10-point lead at 17-7. And outside shooting can be outstanding if things work. Inside, Bach goes to the hoop nicely and puts it in. Bach has 6 of the 9 points for the Cardinals, and it's an 8-point lead for ROCORI at 17-9 with 3:19 to play. Jim Thielen and Doug Brink on the bench with Coach Bob Brink. Here's the pass to Howells. Now the bounce pass back over to New. Drives it to the free throw line. Lays it off on the left side to Howells. Back cross court. Skip pass to Johnson. His jumper is good. However, it's waved off as the foul inside was charged to Darren Bach. It'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. The foul came before the shot, and so ROCORI will just get the ball out of bounds. Handel will sit down. Scott Handel, the 6'4" sophomore, has a chance to play and takes advantage of it. Looked pretty good in there. Didn't have any points as he was in, but looked decent. And outside, Johnson missed the first one, but comes right back and hits another one. So he's actually made 5 three-pointers, but only 4 of them counted. And it's 20-9, an 11-point lead for ROCORI. 2:49 to play first quarter. Hansen's pass inside to Bach. He puts it up and in, and it is fouled. 8 points for Brian Bach. He's going to be a tough one for anybody to stop during the season, and Brian Bach will be at the line. The foul was charged to the Spartans, and picking up the personal foul. 44, was that who it was? Must have been on New, apparently, because even the scoring table had trouble figuring out who that foul was on. But at any rate, it's on New, and so the big fella, Brian Bach, will be at the free throw line. 20-11, a 9-point lead with a chance to cut it to 8 if Bach can put down the free throw. He's 2 out of 2 from the charity line for the Cardinals. His free throw is up, and it's good. 8-point lead for ROCORI. On the three-point play for Brian Bach. Here's at the baseline. The jump shot won't go, as the new player who came in was Tim Nuring, who saw a lot of action for the Spartans last year. Right side, Hansen with the ball. Skip pass cross court for three. On its way. Comes off the iron, no good. Ball in lane is finally chased down by Hulls. The pass from the left side was put up there by the Cardinals' new face, Matt Thompson, a 6'4" junior. Cardinals have good size on this ball club. Outside for Johnson, on its way, three, another three-pointer. And Johnson has 15 points in the ball game, all on three-point baskets. 15 points when we played less than a quarter, and it's 23-12. ROCORI up by 11, I should say. From outside, the shot rims and comes out of there, put up by Ryan Habana, but there's a whistle and a foul underneath. Foul will be on number 54 of the Spartans. And now timeout Willmar. They want to talk things over. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. 1:47 to play first quarter. ROCORI 23, Willmar 12. One of them didn't count. From the corner, the shot is up and good by Hansen. That's a two-pointer, and Hansen has 5 points in the basketball game. Across the timeline now, the Spartans have Jesse Philippi in there, and now a whistle of traveling violation called against ROCORI. The basket is hung up on the other end, and I'm not sure. Apparently the basket hung up on the other end had nothing to do with the travel, but they should have noticed that before. Somebody reached up and grabbed it. So it'll be Willmar's ball, each club with 2 turnovers in the basketball game, and into the front court on the dribble, right side for the Cardinals. Philippi is over there covering. Johnson's still in there. So is Nuring, and now the shot is up and good by Chad Newman, his first 2 points of the basketball game, and it's 23-16. A 7-point lead for ROCORI. Cross-court pass from the Spartans, Dan Crone, who's checked into the ball game, along with Philippi. And also, as I said, Nuring. And now traveling called against Crone again. And that apparently it was a problem last time down. A traveling violation called against the Spartans. So 2 turnovers in the ball game. And now the pressure put on full court by the Spartans. As Crone, who's supposedly the fastest player on the team, covering on Ryan Habana. Over on the right side with the basketball, this Nate Hansen. Loses it momentarily, but will have a reach-in foul called on Jesse Philippi. It'll be his first personal foul of the basketball game. Nuring is in there along with Craig Ethan, Bart Johnson, Jesse Philippi, and Dan Crone for the Spartans right now. The Cardinals have some new faces in there too, although I think most of the starters are still in for the Cardinals. They've had a substitution or two, but they're all back in there right now. Shot is blocked by Johnson. Almost stolen, but then stolen back by Habana. His jump shot won't go. Ball comes bouncing out to the top of the circle, back to Bach, off the glass and in. Once Bach gets it inside, he's very dangerous. In fact, it's 2 points, as he has 11 in the ball game. 18 seconds to go. A 3-point lead for the Spartans. Make that a 5-point lead for the Spartans at 23-18. Right side to Johnson. Works it to the top of the circle, pulls up, goes back into the right-hand corner now to Tim Nuring. Nuring starts to drive the baseline, goes to the basket, puts it in, and got fouled. Nice move by Nuring. Took it right down the baseline and then was fouled. Foul will be charged to number 45, Matt Thompson, who is the substitute in there, as Darren Bach apparently is out of the ball game. He's the one person that's on the bench right now. Free throw is no good by Nuring, but the horn sounds, the buzzer sounds ending the first quarter. Score at the end of one quarter. It's ROCORI 25, Willmar 18. Back in a minute. We'll have the ball on the alternating possession to start the second quarter, and the ball goes to the outside to Matt Thompson, back outside. Now Hanson on the right side. Habana with the basketball, top of the circle. The Spartans in a 2-3 zone and trying to keep the ball away from Bach. Jump pass into the corner to Hanson. Back it comes. Outside Habana with the basketball. Habana brings it back to Hanson. Back outside. Here's a three-pointer on its way, and good by Habana. Habana with his first three-pointers. I don't recall a game starting out with as many three-pointers as we've had in a game. 5, 6, 7 by ROCORI. In fact, all but 2 of their points have come on three-point baskets. And it appears that Steve Howells got hammered in the nose a little while ago, and it appears now that it's bleeding a little bit. And he apparently is going to stay in the ball game. The Spartans turning it over for the 4th time, and I'm not sure if that was a travel or not. I was checking my scorecard, but at any rate, the Habana has it for Willmar, and it's the 4th turnover for ROCORI. Now Hanson back to Habana. Off on the left-hand side to Thompson. Cross-court skip pass to Hanson. Inside they go to one of the big guys inside, this being Chad Newman, and Newman goes to the hoop and puts it in. He has 4 points in the ball game. And it's 25-23. Just like that, a 2-point lead for the Spartans. New knocked away, but Howells will chase it down, gets it back over to Lyle New, and Lyle New will bring it into the front court. Puts it to the left side, still on the dribble, drives it all the way down, and now pushing will be called on Habana. Ryan Habana picks up his first foul, second team foul against the Cardinals. ROCORI with 4 team fouls so far, according to the scoreboard. And the Spartans will control on the side. Inbound pass. New gets it over on the side now to Johnson. Back outside to New. New running the club from the top of the circle. Goes cross into the right corner to Halls. Back to New, who looks over to the coach and gets the signal for what he wants. Bounce pass left side to Johnson. Now the skip pass to Halls. Bounce pass inside for Hondo. There's a steal as Hondo tries to come back outside. Habana with the basketball. And he is fouled, goes to the basket and puts it in. Habana has 5 points in the ball game, and just like that, Willmar with a chance to take the lead as it's tied at 25. Spartans, who owned a 5-point lead at the end of the quarter, or a 7-point lead actually. And just like that, the Cardinals have cut that lead down, and ROCORI will call a timeout. 6 minutes to go here in the first half. It's all tied at 25. We'll come back in 1 minute. (25-25), 6 minutes to play first half. We'll be back in 1 minute. Kyle, be sure you have those. Back once again here at the ROCORI High School Gymnasium. The free throw was good, up and good by Habana, so he now has 6 points in the ball game, and the Cardinals have taken their first lead of the game by 1. ROCORI has it knocked away on the far side by Hanson. It'll still belong to the Spartans. Right now they have Craig Ethan, Steve Howells, Dan Crone, Scott Hondo in there, and the jump shot right side won't go by Howells. The other player in there is Johnson. Down court quickly, driving to the basket. Shot up, no good. Ball batted around and controlled by Bach, who puts it up hard off the glass. And then a foul called on the rebound over the back will be called, and this one will be charged to Chad Newman. It'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. The Cardinals have Habana, Hanson, Brian Bach, Chad Newman, and Matt Thompson in there for them right now. Back into the ball game for the first time, actually. Hondel comes out, and Dan Moore is into the game. He's coming back off knee surgery from the football season. Missed the last 2 games. Inbounds to Crone, gets it back over to Ethan. Ethan leaves it for Crone, and Crone will bring it into the front court. Throws it across the timeline, right side. Gets it into a post to Johnson. Johnson free throw line, pulls up, gets it off on the left-hand side now to Crone. Crone drives inside, tries to dump it off, but it was stolen by Willmar. 5 turnovers in the ballgame for ROCORI, and driving it all the way to the hoop and laying it in. It's good. Habana with the basket, going all the way to the hoop, but he now has 7 from the field, 8 in the ball game. And the ball is ping-ponged into the air and controlled by Willmar, so the Spartans having trouble right now. Willmar's settled down. Habana at the other end makes another layup. He has 10 in the ball game, 9 from the field, and a chance to complete a 3-point play. 30-25. Just like that, the Cardinals have run off a bunch of unanswered points. In fact, they have run off at least 12 unanswered points. They were down by 7, and it may be more than that many because they were behind 23-12 at one time. And at the free throw line will be Ryan Habana, but they've run off a bunch of unanswered points, 12 for sure since the quarter, in fact. The free throw is no good, so the Spartan, Steve Hulls, rebounds it and brings it ahead, and New will bring it into the front court with a left-hand dribble. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half of basketball. 30-25, Willmar by 5. Bounce pass left side to Hulls. He starts the drive, but as he did, he traveled. So the Spartans have been called on that one several times as they slide that pivot foot just a bit before they get the dribble down. And it's turnover number 7 for ROCORI. Only 2 for the Willmar Cardinals. 4:14 to play. First half. Habana, right side, new face in there. Matt Erickson is in. They've got a Matt Thompson and a Matt Erickson. Matt Thompson is still in there, along with Bach and Newman. The jump shot is no good. The rebound follow-up by Newman is no good. And here come the Spartans trailing by 5. They have not scored in this quarter. 30-25. They had a great first quarter. Here's Johnson for 3. It's good! Johnson has hit 6 3-pointers that counted, and he's actually hit 7 out of 7. He has the hot hand if they can only get it to him. He has 18 of ROCORI's 28 points. ROCORI trailing by 2 to the Willmar Cardinals. Off on the left side, Newman gets it down low to the baseline to Brian Bach. And then outside to Habana, and this time Habana is called for traveling. They're not allowing him to move that pivot foot. If they don't get the dribble down, these 2 officials, Mike Carr and Gary Putz, are calling that traveling violation. And now there's a whistle, and into the ball game for Willmar will come Nate Hansen. And sitting down will be Matt Erickson for the Cardinals. Full court pressure put on. Little pick set by Hulls, and the inbounds pass comes to New, who'll bring it into the front court. Covered in the man-to-man by Habana. Bounce pass right side to Johnson. Looks inside. Gets it over on the left side to Ethan. Ethan brings it back out to Moore. Left side 3-pointer is good by Hulls. Steve Hulls has 9 in the ball game, all on 3-point baskets. ROCORI has a total of 9 3-point baskets in this ball game. 27 of their 31 points are 3-pointers. In fact, yes, 27. Here's the shot inside, won't go. Follow-up won't go by Hansen, and now a whistle and a holding foul will be called as Ethan goes down hard along with Hansen. And Hansen will be called for his first personal foul of the ball game. 18-27 of the Spartans' points have been Tim Nuring has 2 of the other points, and I guess I must have missed the other basket because I have the Spartans with 29. We'll check that at halftime. 31-30, ROCORI by 1. That part we're sure of, because that's up on the scoreboard. 2:44 to play. Now the inbounds pass as Willmar will put on full court pressure. ROCORI has been living by the 3-point basket, so the Piers would have to keep it up in order to stay with Willmar tonight. 9 3-point baskets. don't know what the record is for a game, but I do know that Jay Snyder hit a bunch of them in a row, and this may be a new record. Here's the pass intended for Johnson, and a foul will be called on Chad Newman, who tried to make the steal. It'll be a second personal foul of the ball game. 2:30 to play, first half, 31-30, still no bonus. Both teams have 16 fouls. And that's Newman's second personal foul, so he's the only player with 2 on the Willmar Ball Club, and no one has more than 1 on ROCORI, according to my stats. Left side to Howells, back out to Johnson. Johnson for 3. That one was partially blocked, as Newman got a finger on that one, and it came up short, but we got a whistle and a foul call. And a 1-on-1 coming up. The foul will be charged to ROCORI's Craig Ethan, and that will be his second personal foul. Mamma mia, for perfect pasta, it's the Red River Inn. Try any of their delicious pasta dinners: chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo, pasta primavera, or lasagna. All include garlic bread and fettuccine. Just $4.99 or $5.99 with salad bar at the Red River Inn, Cold Spring. Ethan will come out. And into the ball game for ROCORI once again comes Tim Nuring. At the free throw line will be Brian Bach. Brian Bach at the line. His free throw comes up short, no good. Rebound pulled out of there by ROCORI Steve Howells. Will make that Nuring came out with the free throw. And Lyle New will bring it across the timeline. Brian Bach, 3 out of 4 from the charity line, has 11 in the ball game to lead the scoring for Willmar. Now a whistle and a reach-in foul will be called, and if it's on Newman, it's his 3rd personal foul, and he'll be in foul trouble. Newman has his 3rd personal foul. He apparently is the player that had the 23 points in the win over Minnehaha Academy coming off the bench. He's the transfer student from Wisconsin. And now Jeremy Hillenbrand will go into the ball game. Hillenbrand is a 6'10 senior. Will come in momentarily. Free throw is up. It's no good by Johnson. So Bart Johnson misses his free throw. ROCORI's 0 for 2 from the charity line as a team. 31-30, they hold the lead. Here's a jumper by Hansen. He was fouled, and it's going to be 3 free throws coming for Hansen, as he was fouled in the act of shooting a three-pointer by Steve Howells. Steve's 1st personal foul. Hansen will go to the free throw line. And Mike Hansen, his father, will shout some instructions out to his ball club. Sitting down now is Chad Newman, and Hillenbrand is into the ball game. Free throw 1 is no good. Hansen will shoot 3 in the act of shooting a three-point basket. Jesse Philippi will check into the ball game, and Bart Johnson will sit down. Bart Johnson with 18 here in the first half. He had 15 of those in the first quarter. That's a 60-point pace. Free throw 2 by Hansen is good. 1 more coming. As a team, Willmar's been to the charity line 8 times, and they've converted 5 of those. And they've tied the ball game at 31. Habana getting set to come back in. This one's also good, so Willmar goes back on top by a point. Willmar on top by 1, 32-31 with 1:55 to play, first half. Guest at halftime will be Coach Bob Brink of the Spartans. Dan Moore gets it inbounds to Lyle New. Lyle New tells Philippi to head on across the timeline. I'll bring it up. And he brings it across with a cross-court pass over the timeline to Dan Moore on the far side. Back out to New, calling the play, directing traffic. Philippi pulls up, gets it inside now to Nuring, brings it back out to Lyle New, bounce pass left side to Hull. Gets it into Nuring, turnaround jumper partially blocked, batted around, and Philippi will bring it out again. So the smallest guy in there came out with the basketball under the trees in there, and they've got a 6'7" or 6'10". And also in there is Darren Bach, who is 6'3", across that back line, and then they have Hansen and Habana out front. Here's New, whips it into the corner to Howells. Howells started to make a move for a three-pointer and then decided against it. To Moore, back out to Howells, cross-court pass to Philippi. The New free throw line jumper is good. Lyle New finds himself open just beyond the free throw line. A 17-footer has his first basket of the ball game. 52 seconds to play. ROCORI back on top by 1 at 33-32. Habana with the basketball, right side to Hansen. Habana, high post, gets it to Bach, back over to Hansen on the right side. His shot rims and comes out of there. And the ball is chased down by Tim Nuring. Play for one, says Coach Bob Brink. No shot clock in this game. 28 seconds to play first half. 33-32, ROCORI by a point. Lyle New at the top of the circle. Right side for Jesse Philippi. Back out to New. New with the basketball, holding it right out there. Nobody covering. 2-3 zone for the Cardinals. Puts it over in the right side to Philippi. Back over to Howell. Looks inside, comes outside. To New, 7 seconds. Back out to Howell. Howell pulls up for the jumper. It's no good. Rebound batted out of bounds, and it'll belong. That doesn't make any difference. It's out of bounds, and that's the end of the first half. The score at halftime, ROCORI 33, Willmar 32, Heather. We've got a good one. And we will come back to ROCORI High School.
Dougie, you want these?
That one. Okay. No, I didn't. I just didn't notice. Free throws for the Spartans in the first half. The Cardinals were 5 out of 8 from the charity line, and Willmar will have the ball to start the second half, but they will be going the other way. They're going right to left on your radio dial. And apparently everybody was ready to go the other way, and so having a little chuckle with the assistant coach for the Cardinals over on our right-hand side over here, Dewey Bach, who's been a long-time assistant with Shorty Schrader before Mike Hansen. Mike Hansen, assistant for Shorty Schrader as well. Here's the shot. ROCORI does not have a free throw. Habana, they only shot 2 in the first half. Right side to Hansen. Left side, it goes over to Darren Bach. Darren and Ryan Bach both in there, along with Chad Newman, who's playing with 3 personal fouls, and then Ryan Habana and Nate Hansen at the guards. To the free throw line, to the paint. The jumper won't go by Bach. That's Darren Bach. And the rebound pulled out by Johnson. Johnson lead pass for Howells, who bats it into the middle and out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Cardinals. So the Spartans had the basketball but couldn't hang on to it at the other end and batted it away. 35-34, ROCORI by 1. 5:30 to play, third quarter. Habana with the basketball. Brings it into the, well, he's going to go into the front court and then gets the pass on the left side to Darren Bach, who clears it back over to Habana, and he clears it across the timeline. Habana to Bach. Over on the right side to Hansen. Loops it inside to Newman. Back outside it comes. Now here's Habana into the corner. On its way, the shot by Bach is no good. Darren Bach. Rebound Johnson. Down to New. New will bring it across the timeline. Calls the play as he clears the timeline. Left side to Ethan. Ethan with the ball. Gets it back out to Lyle New. Right side to Johnson. His jumper won't go. Rebound pulled down by Hansen, who was all alone on the weak side. Habana across the timeline. Habana to the baseline, and back outside he comes. On the dribble. Left hand. Stops out at the Spartan. Just to the right of the circle. Back to Habana. Left side to Darren Bach. Back door for Brian Bach. Knocked around and controlled by Brian Bach, who had to chase it all the way outside. Hansen, 4-3. Yes. 10 points for Hansen. 12 total in the ball game. 2 3-pointers so far. A pair of threes, a pair of twos, and a pair of free throws. Lyle New across the timeline. Bounce past the Howells. Pulls up in the lane. Bounces it back outside to Lyle New. Covered by Habana. Backs away on the dribble. Hardly has time to call the play. Gets it to Howells. Out at the three-point line. Covered by Newman, who's about 2 inches taller than him at least. 3:58 on the clock. 37-35. Willmar by 2. From long range, Howell's shot won't go from three-point land. Steal by Ethan. Ethan will bring it across the timeline now to New, and New will have the basketball. Off to Howells on the left side, back out to New. 37-35, Willmar by 2. Down into the corner, Howells for the jumper. It's good, and a foul is called. Foul will be on Ethan, but the basket will count for Howells. And for Steve Howells, that will be 13 points in the ball game. And the foul on Craig Ethan is his 3rd of the basketball game. So Hondel now will come out of the ball game. Nuring will come back in, along with Ethan, who's playing with 3 personal fouls right now. There's a steal by Johnson. Has it knocked around and finally picked up by New. So the Spartans get the first Willmar turnover of the second half. 38-37, ROCORI by 1 on that basket by Hulls. Apparently that was, is that a 3? No, apparently it was a 2-pointer. Here's the jump shot from the left side. It won't go by Johnson. He's turned cold, and now he bounced. Rebound is bounced on the line, so it'll still belong. 38-37, ROCORI by 1. And here's New with the bounce pass down to the baseline. Turnaround by Ethan won't go. Rebound pulled down by Newman. I believe they called that a 2-point basket by Hulls, but it would appear that they had given him 3 points. We'll double check that one for you. Meantime, with the basketball, it's Habada. Habada on the right side to Johnson, or to Hansen. Now to Bach, and back out to Habada. Left side to Bach, Nierenbach, down to the baseline to Newman. Inside Brian Bach, turnaround jumper won't go, but he's fouled. And the foul will be on the Spartans. Craig Ethan, who has picked up his 4th personal foul. So Ethan picks up his 4th. Scott Hondel will come back into the ballgame. Ethan will have to sit down. Let's check the scorecard here for you. 18, 20, 22, 24, 37. No, it should be a 2-pointer for Steve Hulls, so it should be correct. 38 points for ROCORI, so that must have been a 3-pointer. So that would give him 12 from the field, 12 points in the ballgame. Free throw is up and good by Bach, ties the score, and now gives the Cardinals a 1-point lead as Bach makes both free throws, and he's 4 out of 6, 5 out of 6 from the free throw line. Has a total of 13 in the ballgame, his first 2 points of the second half. Top of the circle, Lyle New with the basketball. Looking at a 2-3 zone for the Cardinals. 2:20 on the clock, 39-38, Willmar by 1. Right side to Hulls, back out to New. Now over to Johnson, skip past to Hulls. Hulls to the baseline, back out to New. Almost lost it, but picked up by New. Into the ballgame is Scott Cray for the first time, and he almost got the steal, along with Hansen. Habana getting a little bit of a rest as Cray came in. Here's New, right side to Hulls from the corner. Johnson's shot is no good, but we've got a foul called inside on the Spartans, and I believe it's going to be on Hondo. Hondo picks up the personal foul, and for Hondo, that is his first personal foul of the ball game. Blocking foul called right before that shot. Inbounds pass to Bach, gets it back to Cray, and Scott Cray will bring it up across the timeline for the Cardinals. Clears it into the front court, left side to Darren Bach, baseline to Brian Bach, back to Darren Bach, jumper good. A 3-pointer for Darren Bach, his first basket of the ball game, and it's a 3-pointer. 42-38, Willmar by 4. Jump pass down inside to Johnson, who puts up the shot. It comes up short. Spartans wanted a foul, did not get it. Now Hansen goes back door for Bach. This shot's no good. Rebound pulled out of there. It's no good, but a whistle and a foul called. Darren Bach, who got aggressive all of a sudden, put the shot up. And Mike Hansen has a couple of words for his people. Nuring picks up the foul. It's Nuring's first personal foul. And with 1:18 to play, at the free throw line will be Darren Bach. You can't beat those old dinner favorites at the Red River Inn. Liver with bacon and onions, chopped steak, cheddar steak, ham steak, fried fish, and broiled fish. Each dinner includes mashed potato or baked potato, rolling vegetable, just $4.99. $5.99 with a salad bar at the Red River Inn, Cold Spring. At the charity line for the Cardinals, after Nuring picked up his second personal foul. That was the one I missed earlier. 1:18 to play. And the free throw by Bach is up, and it is good. Darren Bach has 4 points in the basketball game. He'll have one more coming. Free throw 2 is also good. So Bach gets a couple of free throws and gives Willmar their biggest lead of the ball game at 6 points. 44-38, and New into the front court for the Spartans. 1:06 to play first in the third quarter. New outside, now Howells drives to the baseline, brings it back outside to New. New Bounce pass inside. Knocked around, finally chased down by Bart Johnson. Looks it back outside to New. 51 seconds on the clock. Bounce pass to Howells. Back out to New. New for three. It's good. Lyle New hits the three-pointer. And Lyle has 5 in the ball game. The Spartans have cut that lead in half to 3 at 44-41. New at the steal. Newell on the drive, and now a whistle and a foul called, and I believe it's going to be Cray. Turnover 2 for the Cardinals second half. And I believe it was Cray who picked up the personal foul, his first of the basketball game. So he not only got the turnover, but the foul as well. 31 seconds. ROCORI with a chance to tie it or cut it to 1 for the basket. Right now, Hillenbrand, Jeremy Hillenbrand, 6'10 senior, comes back in. And out of bounds, it'll be Lyle New throwing it in. Lyle gets it back out to Johnson for 3. He lost the touch, but the follow-up is good by Hondo. Hondo follows it in nicely. His first basket of the ball game. The young sophomore looking good. At the confidence building. Outside with a basketball. This is Matt Erickson who's back in. Now Brian Bach with the turnaround. It won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Hondo. Scott Hondo with the ball. Down court, 5 seconds. Lyle New will pull up. Back outside. Here's Johnson for 3. Yes! Johnson hits it at the buzzer, and the Spartans will take a 46-44 lead into the fourth quarter, and we'll be back in 1 minute. Has 7 3-point baskets in this ball game, and I believe that ties the school record. I believe it was Jay Schneider had 7 at Monticello. We had the ball game down there, and I believe 7 was the record. There's a steal by the Spartans, Johnson, so turnover 3 in each half now for the Cardinals. And down court, New tries to make the steal back again, and the personal foul will be charged to New. It'll be out of bounds on the side to the Cardinals. So the teams exchange turnovers, 3 apiece in the second half. And a little perspiration out on the floor. Gary Putz will clean that up. And we'll be back to the action. Matt Thompson will throw the inbounds pass. Nate Hansen's also in there along with Brian Bach. Ryan Habana is back in. And Chad Newman. So the starting 5, with the exception of Thompson, back in. Darren Bach not in for the start of this fourth quarter. Inside pass goes to Newman. Loose, out of bounds, still belongs to the Cardinals. Newman lost it momentarily. It'll be out of bounds for the Cardinals in the corner. They trail by 2, 46-44. As we're just underway in the fourth quarter. Outside, Habana with the basketball. Habana, cross-court pass to Matt Thompson. Back out to Habana. To Thompson. Inside. Now to Newman. Whips it out into the corner to Nate Hansen. His jumper won't go just inside the three-point line. Lead pass for Howells, who takes it right to the basket. And we're going to get a blocking foul called underneath. It'll be on Nate Hansen, his second personal foul of the ball game. So Hansen picks up the foul, and now the Cardinals want a timeout. So timeout on the floor with the Spartans on top with 7:07 to play, 46-44. We'll be back in 1 minute. Bach, let's see, Darren Bach. Okay, I gave a basket to Bach when I should have given it to Thompson. Okay. Food certificate as well coming from Brian. We'll get that settled down a little bit later. First game of the season. Then Monday night we have Albany here at ROCORI for a non-conference game. Airtime 7:15 with the coaches Holmseth and Brink. Meantime, we're back to the action. And Johnson inside goes to Hondo. Now back outside to Lyle New. Jump pass right side to Howells. Out to the free throw line. Turnaround jumper is partially blocked and picked off underneath by Newman as the shot was put up there by the Spartans' Tim Newing. Into the baseline. The little jumper along the baseline is up and good by Brian Bach. Well, he's the key to that ball club. The Spartans have done an outstanding job stopping Brian Bach, who came out smoking and had most of his 11 points in the first quarter. Of the first half points, he now has 15 in the ball game. Here's a steal by Habana, bounces it back to Hanson. He tries to go up for the shot, but apparently he's going to get a out of bounds to the Spartans. Mike Hanson couldn't believe the call, but there was a collision down there, but no foul was called. Both Hansons, Nate and Mike, his father, could not believe that one, but at any rate, the Spartans get the ball back as they had turned it over to the Cardinals. And now on the line, the Spartans turn it over for the 5th time. So Johnson apparently had the ball touch the line, and so it'll be out of bounds for the Cardinals. 3 turnovers for Willmar, 5 for the Spartans here in the second half, 12 in the ball game for ROCORI. So for the first game of the season, not bad. Willmar's second game, but they have only 6, so that's very good. Pass by Thompson, tried to go inside, forced it into box, Buck put it back outside. And now the rebound by Johnson as Habana misses the shot. And the Cardinals and Spartans all tied at 46. We've had only 2 points scored so far in the fourth quarter. It was 46-44. Willmar with the one, in fact, the 2 free throws, I believe it was, in the second half, and that's been it. Jump shot by New is no good. Rebound, Chad Newman had it. He and Johnson got tangled up, and Newman almost went flying on that one. Inside for Bach, back out to Hanson, puts up a 3 and hits it. No, it's a 2. 12 points for Hanson. And a total of 14 in the ballgame for Nate Hanson, who now is just 1 point behind Brian Bach, leading the scoring with 15. Howells back outside to New, 48-46, Willmar by 2. Timeout ROCORI, 4:44 to play in the ballgame. The score, Willmar 48, ROCORI 46, back in a minute. Need to take a 30 on a couple of free throws, so be ready for that. Take a minute right here. .46 48-46 rather. The lead belongs to Willmar with 4:44 to play in the ball game. And each club with 2 timeouts remaining in the ball game. We'll have our Marnatellis, Howells, Johnson, and New in there right now as Howells puts up the shot. It's no good. Off the glass on the rebound, it's no good. And now a whistle and a foul will be called on Ethan, and that will be 5 on Craig Ethan. So Craig is fouled out of the ball game. And Scott Hondo will be asked to come in and play a big part for the rest of this ball game. And for Ethan, who picked up that foul reaching in with 4:33 to play in the ball game, will be out, and Hondo will come back in. So Scott Hondo, the young sophomore, will be back in, and he probably will be in for the duration. A reaching in foul called on Ethan, as we'll have to be a little more careful. Going against Brian Bach is a big order. The 6'7" junior is going to be one of the finest players in the league, I'm sure, this season. The free throw by Bach is no good. So it remains at 48-46. It was a 1-and-1. And now Coach Bob Brink wants to talk to a couple of his young guards, Philippi and Crone. And we got a whistle and a foul inside. Foul will be charged, a blocking foul to Tim Nuring. It'll be his third personal foul. Third personal. New, Hall, Nuring, Handel, and Johnson in there right now for ROCORI. Habada, along with Hansen, Newman, Bach, and Thompson for the Willmar Cardinals. Free throw is up, and it is no good. The rebound is battled for, and Johnson, who's had quite a few rebounds, pulls it out of there. So the free throw is missed by Hansen. He's 2 out of 4 from the charity line. ROCORI has yet to make a free throw, and they have not shot a free throw here in the second half. Howells with the basketball. Back outside to Johnson. Right side goes to Nuring. Bounce pass on the left side to Handel. Flips it back outside to Nuring, or to Lyle New, rather. Now Howells, right side to New in the corner. Back to Howells. Left side to Nuring. Drives to the hoop. Shot won't go, but a foul is called. Will be on Willmar. And it'll be on Brian Bach. It'll be his first personal foul of the basketball game. And going to the free throw line to shoot a pair will be Tim Nuring. Say, now you can enjoy the Red River Inn's Chicken Buffet on Sunday night. Stop by any time between 3 p.m. and closing any Sunday night and get the Chicken Buffet complete for only $4.49. The Red River Inn. Red River at Main Mall in Cold Spring. Free throw is no good. And now Coach Bob Brink out for a word with his troops, as Nuring will be at the line for another try. ROCORI 0 for 3 from the charity line, and now 0 for 4, so they haven't helped themselves at all there. They trail by 2 at 48-46, but Handel chases down the rebound in the corner, and Lyle New says, let's get that offense rolling again. Here's Howells, right side to Bart Johnson. Johnson top of the circle, left side now to Handel, down to the baseline to Howells. Howells with the basketball, moves inside. Now turnaround jumper, it's good. And we're tied at 48. As Howells now has a total of 15 points in the basketball game. On the right side, this is Hansen. To a high post to Newman, and now we got a holding ball inside. And if it's on Nuring, it'll be his 4th personal foul. It is on Nuring, and it's his 4th foul. So now Coach Bob Brink's got to figure out a combination because he's short on tall players in there, as Nuring at 6'3". Back at the line for the 1-and-1. Student body making a little noise, and high in the air for the rebound goes Handel. Tries to go out to the corner, but Newman picks it off. So Bach missed the free throw, but the Spartans lose it on the turnover, and that's number 6 in the second half and number 13 in the ballgame for the Spartans. Outside with the basketball, Hansen gets it way outside to Habada. Up on the right side, 2:46 to play, all tied at 48. Baseline Newman. Newman to the basket, puts up the shot, it won't go. Rebound, there's a foul, and the foul will be on Thompson. Matt Thompson will pick up his 2nd personal foul. And Matt Thompson with his 2nd foul. Dan Crone, a 5'10 senior, will check back in. And Tim Nuring will check out. And now Dan Crone is giving instructions about who goes where. And Howells will apparently go to a forward. And along with Handel up front and Johnson. And New and Crone will be at the guards outside, apparently. Crone will play a wing, too, as New goes to the top of the circle on the dribble. Gets it off on the left side to Johnson. Bounce pass right side to Howells. Howells for the basket as it's blocked by Brian Bach. And Habada comes out with it. Lead pass off across the timeline to Thompson. Thompson for 3, and he hits it. Thompson has a pair of 3-pointers off the bench and 7 points in the ballgame. And ROCORI wants a timeout, trailing by 3 to the Willmar Cardinals. They'll have a timeout. 2:05 to play, 4th quarter. 98 Countries, WWJO St. Cloud. We'll be back in 1 minute. I've got all the Red River Inn spots in, so we're all set there. along with Howells, Johnson, and Hondel in there right now. Neuring is on the bench with four personal fouls, and Craig Ethan, the starter, is out of there. Johnson for three. Yes! Bart Johnson has 24 on 8 3-pointers, and I believe that's the new school record for ROCORI. 8 3-pointers. I believe the old record was 7 by Jay Schneider a couple of years ago down at Monticello. Now that's from memory, and I did broadcast the ball game, and I believe the old record was 7, but there's 8 3-pointers now for Bart Johnson in this ball game. 24 points. He's only missed a couple of them. In fact, he made one, and a foul had been called, and thus it did not count. So at the free throw line will be Ryan Habana. He's 1 out of 2 from the strike. And the fans making a little noise over there, and it seems to be helping. He's helping ROCORI anyway, certainly not helping Habana. 51-all ball game as the Spartans come into the front court, and we've got a whistle and a foul called on Habana. And Habana will pick up his second personal foul of the ball game. And Coach Mike Hansen shouting words of instruction, as is Coach Bob Brink. No bonus as yet for ROCORI, so it'll be out of bounds. 17 fouls on ROCORI, only 5 on Willmar. Got to get the 7 before we get the bonus. More than 7, I should say, on ROCORI, so Willmar is in the bonus. Outside to Howells, gets it off to Crone. Now off on the right side to New, back to Crone, left side to Howells. Looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Crone almost lost it, but gets it back to New. Back out to Crone, who's at the point right now. 4-3, won't go. Rebound tapped out and controlled by Howells. Nice move, but then a steal by Newman. So Newman steals it back. ROCORI with 7 turnovers in each half now. Crone going after the basketball, putting on the pressure. 1:03 to play in the fourth quarter. On the left side to Thompson. Thompson with the basketball, holding it. Back outside it comes to Hansen. Now gets it to Bach. Brian Bach in the paint, brings it back out before the 3-second violation. Left side to Thompson, cross court to Hansen, inside the box, back to the basket, puts up the shot, it won't go. Rebound Hondo with a very big rebound, and with 35 seconds to play. Stone says run the clock. 30 seconds, 51 all is the score. We're all tied. Left side, off to Hondo. And the sophomore bounces it on the right side to Howells. Back out to Johnson, but it's blocked. He could put up the 3-pointer, but it was blocked. Howells with it, 15 seconds to New. And he calls the closed fist play with 10 seconds. Howells, left side, Hondo with the shot. It's good! Good! Hondo hits the shot from the left side. It was a 3-pointer. And the Spartans lead 54-51. Timeout. Willmar will be back in 1 minute. That's fine. Yep. We are back. 4 seconds on the clock. 54-51. Willmar must go full court in order to get a 3-point shot that would only tie this ball game unless there was a foul and they made a free throw. But it's 54-51 ROCORI. A 3-point basket by Johnson had tied the score, and a 3-pointer by Hondo has given the Spartans the lead, and now ROCORI wants another timeout. So timeout on the floor. We'll be back in 1 minute. We're back once again, and the pass full court went out of bounds at the other end and did not get touched. So Willmar will have the basketball, and Willmar takes another timeout. We're going to keep it right here this time, I believe, and take our final break right after the ball game. Willmar there's only 3 seconds on the clock. It's 54-51. ROCORI, a three-pointer by Johnson, had tied the ball game. His 8th three-pointer of the game, which I believe is a new ROCORI record for three-point baskets. And Scott Hondo hit a three-pointer with, well, just over 4 seconds to play, because by the time Willmar got timeout, there was 4 seconds on the clock. And now Nate Hansen, or someone, will try the three-point basket. It comes way outside. That'll be the ball game. It'll be chased down and out of bounds. ROCORI will have the ball with 2 seconds on the clock. ROCORI will win the game. The pass intended for Hansen sailed all the way to the other end of the court, went out of bounds, and all ROCORI has to do is play the ball in and let the 2 seconds run off the clock. They lead by 3, so it'd be virtually impossible to lose it at this point. There's Howells with the ball. He throws it at the basket and almost made the shot. He threw it over in the back of his head and almost made the basket. 54-51. ROCORI wins their opener in a thriller here on the new gym floor at ROCORI High School. We'll be back with the post-game show in a minute and 15 seconds. Hey, Bob. Bob. Fight. We got a minute. What a ball game, huh? Not that hot, no.
He's a good sophomore. He really is a good sophomore.
Yeah, he is. He looks good. He looks more mature than a sophomore.
15 years old.
More than likely.
We've got a new sponsor on the post game. We've got the Myers Valley System player of the game this year. So we'll help me pick it. I'd go with Johnson. 24 points, 8 3-pointers. But you can pick somebody else if you want to. We are back once again with Coach Bob Rink of the ROCORI Spartans. And Coach, congratulations on a win. We'll try and get the TV folks in here too at the same time. Congratulations on the win. What a basket by Hondo. This young man looks more than mature than a sophomore.
Well, he really did, and you know, it was a big shot he made there. It came at the right time, and I'm sure that's going to help his confidence a lot, you know, Connie. But, you know, at halftime, we had a good talk at halftime, and I just think those kids, they knew this is their first game on this floor, and they weren't about to lose it. I think we wanted the game a lot, and I think we played awful good defense that fourth quarter and the third quarter. When we switched defenses there, we went to that man-to-man. I thought it was just fantastic because they just didn't get any good shots. It was just all-out team effort on defense.
I think the real key was stopping Brian Bach because he was having his own way pretty much in the first quarter.
Well, Craig Ethan really never got into the ball game. He's a heck of a ball player. Craig is, you saw how high he got on some of those rebounds in there, and he's the kid we lost on fouls. Craig, you know, I thought he played a great game defensively, even though he did get some kind of picky fouls in there, but you have to hand the offensive part of the game to Bart tonight. He really lit him up on there early, and Steve Halls, for his first start, I thought had a heck of a ball game for us too, Connie. So it's hard to single out any one guy, but just a heck of a team ball game, team effort.
I'm sure you're not going to want to try and live on the three-point basket. I don't know how many he had, but I do know that I believe, anyway, if my memory serves me right, Johnson broke the old school record for three-pointers. I believe Jay Schneider had 7 at Monticello, and he got 8 tonight, 24 points.
Well, this you know, I thought going into the season, I thought this was a heck of a shooting ball club. You know, Bart and Steve Halls, and little Jesse Philippi is one of the better shooters on the team. He never got up a lot of playing time tonight, but he's a heck of a shooter, and all the kids can shoot, but I think this is a good shooting ball club. That's why I think we'll be in most of our ball games this year.
I really was impressed with Willmar. They have a fine basketball team.
They really do, and of course you get a transfer in like that 6'3" Newman. He's a heck of a ball player. I don't know what their scoring was tonight, but they had us in a lot of areas on size, but it's a lot of heart, and that's what rebounding and defense is all about, and that's what carried us tonight, I thought, really, is our defense.
And your quickness. I thought you got to the ball quicker than they did on some occasions.
Now, we really do, and I think, we even have a little quicker team, but they're so big, we really couldn't put the small kids in there. We had to try to keep at least 2 and most times 3. I thought, even though he didn't score a lot of points, another person that I never mentioned is Tim Nuring. He's a battler. He plays hard in there, and he gave us a heck of an effort tonight. He forced a couple shots, but I thought defensively he came in there for Craig Ethan, and you couldn't even tell Craig was out of the ball game. Timmy did a nice job for us.
Well, we have a new sponsor on the post-game show, Marnatelli's Pizza Player of the Game, and we're going to come back and name that player of the game with Coach Bob Brink in 30 seconds. Not right now. We're going to finish it up, and then you can give them when you get it back. We got to get these back once again at ROCORI High School with Coach Bob Brink. Coach, I had a suggestion of perhaps Bart Johnson as far as the player of the game with 24 points. He hit the bucket that tied the game at 51, and of course Handel hit the basket that won it. It was a great team effort, but what are your thoughts on that?
While we had that little break there, I got to thinking about the ball game, and a kid that we haven't even talked about. He didn't score a lot of the points, but he played a heck of a ball game at that point guard spot, and you know who I'm talking about there. Lyle New. He's got great hands. He proved that on the football team this year. But I'll tell you, he played one whale of a ball game. He didn't lose the ball game. I think one time on a dribble, it reminded me a little bit of Troy Stein the last 3 years. Very conservative out there, but always got us in the offense and turned the ball over very few times against a lot of different defenses. So, I was thinking about Lyle as a playmaker, but and I kind of like to go for that. He had a heck of a ball game. I just wanted to say a good word, but getting us going and hitting those threes and breaking the school record, I think I would have to pick Bart Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Congratulations. You get that Albany Husky Ball Club on Monday night, and that's always a fun time when Albany comes to town, and they have a pretty good ball club. They're off to a 2-0 start.
That's right. The only thing we'll have to worry about is we can't have a letdown because these kids are a pretty emotional group of kids, and they play with a lot of emotion. So we got to be ready for the Huskies, and I think they will be.
That'll be a Monday night game because you have wrestling on Tuesday, right?
We had to switch that from Tuesday because Monticello's here Tuesday night in a Central Lakes wrestling match.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. Let's look at the scoring for tonight's ball game now. We mentioned that Bart Johnson had 24 for ROCORI. Let's look at the Willmar scoring first of all. The Cardinals go to 1-1. The Spartans at 1-0 now. And Ryan Habana had 9 points and a free throw, 10 points in the ball game, including a three-pointer. It was Nate Hansen with a total of 14 points in the game, including a pair of three-pointers and a pair of free throws. Darren Bach did not score. He started but did not score. Brian Bach, who had 11 points in the first half, finished the ball game with 5 field goals and 6 out of 8 from the charity line for a total of 16 to lead the scoring for the Willmar Cardinals. Chad Newman had a pair of field goals for 4, so they did a job on him. Scott Cray in a reserve role did not score. It was Matt Erickson not scoring. Matt Thompson off the bench had a pair of three-pointers and a two-pointer for 7, and they were key baskets at the end of that game. And Jeremy Hillenbrand did not score, the 6'10 senior in a reserve role. Jesse Philippi off the bench did not score. Lyle New, the point guard and playmaker for the Spartans, and as Coach said, a very fine effort on his part. He had a three-pointer and a two-pointer for 5 points in the ball game. Steve Howells, 9 points in the first half, and he finishes the ball game with a total of 15, including 4 three-pointers in the basketball game. 15 in the game for Steve Howells, according to my unofficial statistics. Also in the ball game for the Spartans, let's make that 16 points. That'll come out a little bit better for Steve Howells. And it was Bart Johnson with 24, as I said, 8 three-point baskets. And as my memory serves me, that is a new school record with breaking the old record by Jay Schneider of 7. Now, I could be wrong on that, and I apologize if I am, but I believe that is a new school record, 24 and 8 three-point baskets for Bart Johnson. Craig Ethan, a field goal for 2 points, fouled out with 4:33 to play. Scott Handel, who had a three-pointer and a two-pointer, but it was his three-pointer that won it with just 4 seconds on the clock, and he had 5 in the ball game, so the young sophomore had a real fine ball game on his part as well. Dan Crone did not score. Dan Moore did not score, and Tim Nuring had a field goal for 2 points and 0 for 3 from the charity line. By quarters, ROCORI up 25-18 at the quarter. They trailed 33-32 at the half. They led 46-44 at the end of the third quarter, and they win at 54-51 on a last-second shot by Scott Hondel to break the tie, a three-pointer, and win it. Biggest lead for the Spartans in the game was 11, and the biggest lead for the Cardinals in the ball game was 6 points late in the third quarter. So ROCORI goes to 1-0. They'll play on Monday night against Albany. Willmar is 1-1. That's it from here. I'm Connie O, reminding you, as we say thank you to Kyle Smith for a nice job back at the studios as well, reminding you the final score once again. And might also mention that Marnatelli's Pizza player of the game was Bart Johnson. Post-game show brought to you by Marnatelli's Pizza in downtown Cold Spring. Much more than pizza, roasted chicken too. Marnatelli's Pizza. It was ROCORI 54, Willmar 51, and I'm Connie O. Hey, 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 all right.
You're fine.
Yeah, can you get in here?
Here, I'll leave it up. Bill.
My thanks to Connie O. We used our wireless across the way here. I hope it came in most of the time. It was so noisy at times, of course, I couldn't hear, but I just assumed he was there. And I could hear the post-game show. And what a game, huh? And talk about three-pointers. I tell you, more three-pointers than you could shake a stick at. Hats off to Mr. Johnson there for those 8. That's an unofficial new total or a new record, breaking Mark Snyder's, no, the other Snyder, Mr. Snyder, I'll say, record of only just a few years ago. And so we'll be out of here, and we'll let you watch this on 34 over the weekend. Bill Godey cameraman from ROCORI Gym, where the Spartans were victorious over the Willmar basketball team 54-51. Good night.